Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, survived the weekend. Back to work. Did any of our local boys get any hardware this weekend?
One, and that's a big deal. This is in baseball, and the Class 5 baseball championship went to Willard, and that is just super.
Huge.
Absolutely super, because it's poetic justice in a way. Coach Scott McGee, who's been out there for 19 years, this was his third state title in his 19 years of coaching. Also his last.
Yep.
His final game as the coach, he's leaving to become an assistant principal, I think it is, or assistant superintendent, I'm not sure, in the Republic school system. But he wins his final game, Willard 9, St. Dominic out of St. Louis 8, 9-8. And Mike, the way it ended, this is storybook stuff if there ever was one. Scores 9-5, Willard has the lead. St. Dominic loads the bases in the 7th inning, and that's the final inning. And the kid hits a double into left center field, clears the bases, it's 9-8. The kid decides he's going to try to stretch the double into a triple, thrown out at third base, final out of the game. At least he was hustling on the play. But Willard wins it 9-8, and that's a very big deal. That's the only one of the area teams that won a state championship.
Got some golfing going on this weekend as well for the Memorial Tournament. How'd that go down?
Well, this was very interesting because it was anybody's tournament in the final 4 holes, and it ended up in a tie between J.T. Poston and Ryan Gerard. They went to the second hole of sudden death overtime, and Poston won it with a par putt while Gerard bogeyed his. So it's J.T. Poston who wins the lion's share of the $20 million purse at the 50th Memorial Tournament in Dublin, Ohio. It's Jack Nicklaus' tournament, and he was right there to make the presentation. Now, the ladies played the U.S. Women's Open out at Pacific Palisades, which is the Riviera Country Club in Pacific Palisades, which is an enclave of Los Angeles. And Nelly Korda won it for the USA. She was 8 under par and won the event by 1 stroke.
Last but not least, I know you were watching the French Open this weekend. How was it?
Pretty doggone good tennis, all by youngsters except for the guy who won the men's title. It's Alexander Zverev, who's been on the pro tour for a number of years, 29 years old, and a big guy. He's 6'6", but he's never won one of the big majors until yesterday. Took him 5 sets, but he beat Flavio Caboli, who's a young and up-and-comer from Italy, beat him in the final set 6-1. So a win for Alexander Zverev. The ladies' title at the French Open, Mira Andreeva, she was a straight set winner over Maja Walenska of Poland. No Americans in the final, but that's nothing unusual. There haven't been many anyway.
The Royals starting to come on a little bit. What do you think?
They're playing a little bit better. Got a win yesterday. Had to hold on to get it. But
that's what I'm saying. About a month ago, they would have lost that game handedly.
Yeah, they didn't yesterday, though.
Yep.
Won it by a score of 6-5 over the Minnesota Twins, who scored 4 runs in the 9th inning to really make it close. Nonetheless, a win for the Kansas City Royals. They get the win, are playing better, but I'm sorry to have to say that I'm afraid they're too far behind in the American League Center, but we'll wait and see, because there have been stranger things that have happened.
See, fingers crossed, how the Birds do.
Well, the Redbirds are playing Magic Baseball. They're riding that magic carpet. Had a bit of a slump against the Milwaukee Brewers, but who doesn't? The Brewers are way ahead in the National League Central. Anyway, the Cardinals complete a sweep of the Cincinnati Reds, scored 2 runs in the 8th inning to win yesterday 5-3. Big win for St. Louis. The Cardinals now take today off and take on the New York Mets up at Citi Field in New York. Now, Springfield Cardinals played a couple of games down in Frisco yesterday, and one was a makeup from Saturday, doubleheader, and the Springfield Cardinals lose both games by the same score. Very unusual. Springfield loses to Frisco 6-4 and 6-4, but maybe better days ahead.
You told me, or if you told me, last week that the finals would be heading back to New York with the Knicks at 2 games after being in San Antonio twice and the Spurs losing twice. I said, you crazy. But now I got to ask who you got in Game 3.
Well, with the visiting team having won twice down in San Antonio, what's to say the San Antonio team couldn't go to Madison Square Garden and win?
Things have
the
happened.
President of the United States will be in attendance tonight, so who knows? It could be very strange. The Knicks are a 2.5-point choice to win this game tonight. Why not? Heck, they're 2 up in the series. They win these 2 at Madison Square Garden, and it's all over. Anyway, the New York Knicks, 2.5-point choice, and they are a plus 180. All right, what does that mean, a plus 180? It means if you place a $100 bet on the New York Knicks and they win, you win $180 plus your bet back. So you walk away in pretty good shape. Anyway, the Knicks 2.5-point choice. We'll see what happens.
Had some racing going on in Michigan yesterday. Who got the checkered flag?
Denny Hamlin for the second straight week and the fourth time in his career at the Michigan International Raceway. It was a heck of a challenge, but Denny Hamlin comes from behind. He was probably 5 or 6 cars behind heading into the final 10 laps of the race, but did get the win, took the lead, and wins his second straight. So indeed, he had won at Nashville last week. So Denny Hamlin takes the checkered flag at Michigan, and that sets the stage for next weekend's races.
It's getting pretty heavy there in NASCAR world, Ned. Stay right there and have a dry day. I will see you tomorrow.